Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Celestial Esports stream. One of what could possibly be two today. I know we promised you a stream on Sunday, didn't end up happening due to some external factors. That being said, we had one yesterday, and we've got at least one more today. I am Luna, and I'm joined by Scanner to bring you the Celestial Light versus SIR games, which were played yesterday in Division 3 of the Valanth League. And from what I can tell, they are they were pretty quick games.
Yeah, they were pretty quick games. The recordings aren't too long, but we still have the recordings. And of course, we're not going to spoil anything for anyone who wants it spoiler free. And we sadly do not have a pick ban phase due to the entirety of this being re-recorded, since the games happened yesterday. So I suppose we can just hop back into game, right?
Yep, we can hop back into game. Or hop straight into game, rather. The joys of doing vodcasts is you haven't got to wait for draft, you haven't got to wait for spec delay. We can just hop straight in and bring you the gameplay you are all here for. That being said, when you are ready,
Alright.
feel free to count us down. So we are both paused at 10 seconds because this is easier than streaming it on Discord.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm ready. So let's hop into the game in 3, 2, 1, now.
Okay, and we are on to the for game number 1. So you can see on the red side, SIR have Ornn. We need to fix the tab menu because they were not in order. Ornn, Vi, Syndra, Ashe, and Braum going up against Lights, Tahm Kench, Poppy, and Nivea, Lucian, Swain. Now, not the most interactive of early games for either of these teams. That being said, there is a Lucian in the bot lane. We do have Poppy and Nivea, so maybe we see something happen in the early stages.
Yeah, we might. The thing we have here is that, like, the blue side team, Sir, is a bit more late game skewed with the Syndra and the Ornn pick, while their bot lane is playing kind of defensive with Ashe and Braum. And red team just wants to end the game quick.
Yeah, getting this game done quickly definitely means that Warbase is at top of his power. Of course, not too upset if it goes too late. You do have that Anivia being asked if we can zoom out in chat. I'm not sure if you've done Control Shift Z already or not, but always helpful to have to hand.
Yeah, that's very funny because that is not something that works on my end.
Really?
It really doesn't, no. It doesn't allow it.
Is there That's
Yeah, exactly. I know. It's weird.
That's wild.
That is very, very wild.
Yeah, Control Shift Z. It's not even like it's an ingrained hotkey.
Yeah,
It,
but apparently it doesn't want it.
well, the more you know, I guess. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. You're stuck with a slightly more zoomed in camera until I have the mental capacity to figure that out. And find a fix.
Anyways, we had a very early game, very early trade on botlane already with the Swain Lucian poking out the Braum to half-life, so he had to eat his potion.
It's about what I'd expect coming out of a Lucian Swain lane. Very early aggression. Junglers pathing in the same directions. So both going top to bot, looking to either influence or cover this bot lane in some capacity. I don't hate that. As we said, the Lucian is the early pressure point of this game.
And at the same time, if they can get number advantage on bot lane, they can shut down the Lucian Swain early game.
Yeah, it most certainly can. Time will tell if that does happen, however. The rest of the map should be pretty quiet. I mean, top lane's a bit of a wet noodle fight. It'll just be fist fighting.
Yeah, but that might turn soon because of Tahm Kench still being able to dish out a lot of damage, just like Ornn.
Yes, but Ornn is the tank assassin, marksman, mage, paladin, death knight.
Exactly. He does everything.
Champion. Exactly. Ornn will just randomly solo kill his lane opponent with no rhyme nor reason because Ornn.
Exactly, because his W and his brittle passive together deal a lot of max health damage. So we're currently
I'm
seeing
seeing.
that the Vi was a bit faster
Mm,
and here clear than the Poppy, but they're both hovering in jungle. Um,
that thing.
the bot lane
Oh,
has
we
the
can
push
see.
advantage, so we might see a scuttle fight, or they just back off.
Yeah, likely just going to back off. I did see the potential of Vi looking for something. Did get dissuaded by Tom there on the Poppy. Of course, having that steadfast presence makes Vi's life much harder. So asked Tom to also look to double scuttle this quite effectively because the Vi decided to take the reset. A lot of damage coming down on this mid lane.
Also, notably, the Swain roaming far into river just to place that W on the Syndra.
Ooh, okay. Scatter comes down, electrocute procs and procs the egg. As we see both junglers are skirmishing in the river. The smite was secured by Toasty,
Which
able
means
to take that scuttle
both
away.
junglers are equal now, kind of. The I took two
Kind of.
words.
Good route on the bot side from Tower with that never
Very
move.
strong chunk. Very good trade. Puts Ash into a heavy disadvantaged position already, which now forces them to either to stay until their bot lane decides, okay, you guys can recall now.
Yeah, I mean that's Towie showing perfect understanding of his champion, finding the double catch with that never move, really allowing the lane to break open a little bit more. And of course, the increased max health is nothing to sniff at either. Swain, if he can get stacking, does kind of just become a drain tank after a while.
Yeah, he becomes very chunky, very fast. Although I don't think that is something they have to worry about, since they have the Syndra Ash and the Ornn upgrades with a Vi, so they can't take it down.
Yeah, you do have avenues of dealing with it this game, especially easy access to anti heal also helps that a very good bit. As we see once again, just both junglers on this bottom side as
Ornn eating two
once again
tower
somewhat
shards.
somewhat nullifying in the top lane. The Wilson, Dean putting this Syndra very low. Clover has to back off. Now,
Sadly out of mana, cannot cast another Q to secure the kill.
it is worth mentioning that Patrick Clover in the mid lane for SIR was a last minute substitution, I believe, for this roster. The normal player couldn't quite make it as the Call of the Forge God is popped, cancelled out by the Devour. Beeg looking for the solo kill here. Tongue Lash lands, flash used from
That looks
Raj.
like it's going to be
Beeg
one. If
looks
he
to run
mishits
him
it
down.
next Tongue Lash, that's gonna be it. Oh, nice dodge.
Goes slightly wide. Does
Got the
find the dash, flashes
flash.
forward, gets slowed up by the pillar, however. Another tongue lash goes wide. The mountain dragon's been secured in this time. There's a bit of fist fighting in the middle as well. And what looked to be a solo kill for Beeg ends in disaster.
But both top laners now are down on flash. Yeah, Ornn can get an advantage.
Ooh,
Oh, Anivia getting very
Christ.
close to death after that. Force of Will? No, not Force of Will. Force of Will was a Q. Or was it?
Good lord. That was unstoppable or unleash power.
Oh yeah,
Just
Unleash Power, right.
completely rinsing through Dean's health bar a little bit there.
But Anivia is immediately teleporting to secure the pressure on the Syndra, so she gets
What?
punished hard.
Sorry, I don't know what I just saw. The Braum E didn't get procced, but Swain E just vanished into midair. Sure.
Yeah, we have our funny projectiles as always. They seem like they should hit, but they don't.
Rito Games.
Anivia roaming bot
Dean.
lane.
Yeah, looking for an
Using
angle
the
here. A dive could
time.
be on the cards. Did get spotted on a ward in that tri-brush, however. If this wave can be crashed, there is the opportunity, but you can see Patrick
Poppy's
Clover moving
also
down
moving
already.
in.
Yeah, Tom is almost here. Unbreakable goes down, but it goes a little bit wide. Culling comes down. A good push from Tom will secure first blood for Warbase. Tom able to survive for now. Tower now take up the tower. One more tower shot. He will fall. Heal goes down. Dean goes down on the backside as well in a solo kill to call me squad. And what looked like a very well set up dive for Celestial Light ends in a little bit of disaster coming off the back just simply by a little bit of misexecution.
Yes, the Swain didn't understand that he didn't really have to do anything anymore and just had to stand out of tower range to tank the turret. Sadly, that was heal and Swain dying to the Ash at the same time.
very unfortunate
And now they're also
dive
punishing
in there.
Tom for exactly this play by stealing his blue buff.
Certainly are. Gold's still very even, however, just thanks to the plate, of course, that's gone down in that bot lane, as well as the slight CS lead in bot lane and top lane. Keeping things relatively even for now. Stun goes slightly wide from Dean, but this ultimate is rinsing through this Syndra's health bar. Scatter will land the stun, however, which stops that channel of the Glacial Storm. You can see Grubs are up, and of course this dragon did already go over to Celestial Light, so they are 2 monsters away from that feat.
Although at
Scatter
the same
cancels
time,
the
both
ult.
teams don't really care much about Grubs, because Ornn wants to teamfight, and Tom Kench just wants to bully Ornn.
I mean, if they're free, you're not going to say no to them. We can see Tom moving into them now. It always is nice to have that little bit extra pushing power.
Oh, we're getting the solo
Comes down
bolo
the
on mid lane?
Bop! Icicle Spear completely sunders Patrick Clover to the stars.
That was also a beautiful stun wall combination to shove the Syndra into the stun.
Most certainly was.
Tom Kench is being very brave.
Yeah.
The
yeah, well, I
Brom
think,
ults and Swain ults.
Fisher goes wide. Towie flashing forward as the arrow comes in. Towie going very low. Toasty secures that. Warbase going to try and get something back on the other side, but in a 1v3, there comes the Vial. Cease and desist, Warbase. Slowed up by Frost Shot under the tower. Flashes away. Might be able to find something. Turn almost goes down to the volley and does find the return kill onto Toasty as well. So it's not all lost for the Celestial Light bot lane, but the feats do quite comfortably go across to SIR.
The feats of warfare.
Now, it is Monster Slaying is in favor of Celestial Light Grubs and First Dragon secured. This next dragon is spawning soon as well. I'm seeing questions in chat if we can get game sound going. I'm not sure how possible that is.
Game sound
but I
is
thought I would
apparently
mention it.
just very quiet. I can take care of that really quick.
Okie dokie. In the meantime, Towie just playing to annoy the enemy bot lane under their tower, trying to take a reset before this dragon. 30 seconds on the clock.
There, now we should have proper game sound.
Yippee!
It was just a bit quiet due to my PC settings, and I did not have feedback last time I was streaming.
Electrocute. Procced once again in the mid lane. Force of Will into the Unleashed Power. Toasty is here and it will go down.
Toasty is here to
Shockwave.
secure the kill.
Yeah, casually. Just gonna yoink that one from their mid laner. This dragon is now up and Dean is off the map. Does not have that teleport yet either. So we'll have to walk down once he's on the map. We'll see if anybody decides to go for this dragon in the meantime.
The Ashe, their bot lane just recalled, and the Ashe did not have enough money to get her first item, while Lucian is hanging on to tier 2 boots and Essence Reaver. So the bot lane advantage is very big here, so that looks like the second Drake will also belong to Celestial Light.
Little bit of a crime they're getting away with this, but with the enemy bot lane resetting, it seems they will just be able to do as they please. Toasty
They're
is
looking
in the
for
wings,
an
however, could
angle.
look for a steal.
Syndra is
See
also
this Vi
moving from
stepping
mid
up.
lane.
My camera, for some reason, is on the top lane as there's a fight going
Yeah.
on. Coming down. See pings coming down on the bot side. Rajed flashes. One more auto will do it.
Get
That's
the
down.
solo
And
bolo
now
on
the
Tom
fight in the bot
Kench.
side. Squad steps up. Glacial Fisher tags onto 3. Scatter tags onto 3. Cease and desist onto Dean. He's already dead. Tom goes in something, but he will be exploded. Towie's in the middle of everybody, though. As Squad falls, as does Ragnarok. It's the name of the game in the bot lane duo. As they're left in a 2 versus 4 situation, they trade up 2 for 2. Flash forward from Patrick Clover, finds the scatter, but there's not enough damage on Towie. Never Move will keep him locked up. Toasty's now stuck behind enemy lines. 2 versus 4. Warbase likes those odds, ladies and gentlemen.
That was pretty beautifully played from Sir in the beginning, but sadly the Lucian is just too strong with this Essence Reaver together with the Swain at the moment.
Yeah, incredible mastery of their champions coming through from Warbase and Towie there. Really, really blowing that fight apart. And it looked so good, right? The Glacial Fissure into Scatter combo onto 3 really, really made that look.
There might have been a
Closer than it
slight
needed to be.
problem within this entire fight, because there was also a Ashe firing her arrow, sadly into the Scatter the Weak, so the stun didn't really happen, so it was just a bit of damage.
That does secure the feat of monster slaying for the side of Celestial Light.
As top lane fights for vision.
Yeah, you know, standard top lane shenanigans. Toasty going for the invade, dodging vision on towards Tom's topside jungle, seeing him on the bottom side. We'll see if this means a huge amount or if we'll just see a counter invade. Should now be a bit of a lull state, however.
Yeah, this game is turning out to be very, very difficult now for Sir. Because the Lucian is so far ahead of the Ashe that she will never be able to contest him within the next 20 minutes.
You know what? Hold that thought. Dean's just said I'm going to solo kill my lane opponent. Again.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Also,
Sure.
interesting with the Malignance and Nivea. If I remember correctly, most popular is Rod of Ages?
Yes, Rod of Ages Seraphs is most popular. Toasty now trying for something. Backstep on the Vault Breaker as Towie and Tom arrive. Forces Toasty's flash. In comes the Vault Breaker once again. Cease and assist. But Tom puts it backwards to predict it. Still going to get out with his life. But, I mean, this is just showing mastery of champions individually across the map for both teams, right? Patrick Clover doing a lot of work on this Syndra so far this game. Tom, Warbase, and Towie, and Dean all showing why they're playing the champions they are.
Meanwhile, we're also getting first turret on mid lane likely. Oh no, the Syndra manages to clear the wave. But if the Lucian will be left alone for too long on bot lane, he might get the turret instead, which would secure these feats of strengths.
Certainly would. I think it's a bit hard for Warbase to step up, but it could definitely happen in the mid lane. As Dean is once again fishing onto his lane opponent. A lot of damage coming down, however, as the Herald goes down. Every objective so far this game secured by Celestial Light. Tom showing he has complete control over these neutral objectives.
This Herald is also likely going to secure the first turret.
As Beeg is once again fist fighting Raj. One more tongue lash will secure the kill. Seems, will get it as
dying again to the Swain roam.
Toasty now looking onto Beeg in this top lane, but a good use of that W will take him to safety. All the while, Warbase still on his own. And slowly, but quite comfortably, securing a nice XP lead over his lane.
And there goes the first turret for the feats of strength for Celestial Light. Also, not to forget, we still have the Rift Herald likely going to be placed bot lane, it seems, maybe?
Likely towards mid around this next dragon or around Artican. Just pressure that tier 2 and force a response in the mid lane away from the objective would be my guess. We can see this bot lane tower is just going to fall here with 2 members having to move out. It's not very long for this world.
With Ashe and Braum rotating to mid lane, there's nothing left to defend this turret, and the Syndra gets caught by the Nemeth move.
Move in as the Vault Breaker from Toasty comes in, and there is the Demonic Ascension.
They may have the numbers advantage, but they're still very scared of the Lucian.
And of course, this Rylai's is very strong. Tom gonna get tapped by Shankar Slide, but the culling is absolutely rinsing the Syndra dead just to the culling alone.
And Swain is still alive through stacks.
He's running, he's trying to escape, he will go down, but so will Ragnarok, so will Squad. In the top side, there's a bit of a fight going on, but Toasty's left on his own on this bottom side into 2 members of Celestial Light will find the way onto Warbase, but will drop to Dean, and it's nigh an ace for the side of Celestial Light, as Raj is forced back to base as well. It looked good for SIR. They had the numbers advantage. They thought they'd found the catch onto Tom, but this Poppy Swain duo are just a bit too tanky.
There's also the Tahm Kench planning to dive the Ornn.
I mean, he might just get this. He kind of just gets to walk at this Tahm Kench
He just tongue lashes him and sadly trades 1 for 1, which is not very much worth it since he has to shut down, sadly. Brings the Ornn closer back into the game. But that really does not matter, because the Anivia-Lucian combination with the amount of money they currently have is just unbearable, even for an Ornn to tank.
Yeah, I mean, you get so many free stats from that passive, but you've got to get there. And Raj at the moment is sitting about as far away from that as you possibly could, right? This top lane tier 1 is about to fall as well. But sitting at level 11, you need 3 levels to get your first upgrade for a teammate. You need to get to level 17 to be able to upgrade your entire team. And that takes a while.
Yes, that is a big problem of the On right now, because he's so far behind on levels. So he doesn't even get his own item upgrade until the next level, which is level 13, as you mentioned.
This dragon has been started up by Celestial Light. We can see Toasty potentially looking to come in for a steal. Does get into the pit and does find the steal.
It?
I would say old man hands, but Tom is younger than me, so I can't get away with that. Beeg is looking for the aggression. Squad will just be given across as forfeit for this dragon steal, but you're more than happy to stop that soul point going across, to stop that dragon stacking.
I do want to mention really quick that these 2 pink wards in Celestial's bot side jungle have been present throughout the entire game. Which just shows how much...
Absolutely rinsed by the culling. Tom gonna flash forwards just to secure that kill as the tower goes down as well. Raj being bashed on by Beeg once again. We've been here before Call of the Forge God comes in with no easy way to stop it. Meanwhile in the mid lane, Herald is charging. Raj is now behind enemy lines. I think this might be another kill for Beeg. No enemy turret in sight.
This looks very bad for the Ornn. It was a very nice dodge on the tongue lash.
Beeg doing what he can, but a little being a little bit fancy-feeted here. Grasp comes in, knockup goes slightly wide, however, which should be all lights. Never mind, this wave is big. Beeg's just gonna have to leave, I think. Good lord, these top lane fights are something else.
They are really, truly something different, as both HP tanks just tank each other out. Yet it seems like they want to go to Atakan right now.
Would make a lot of sense. You can see 3 members on the top side. Beeg looking to get out, cease and assist. Scout of the week will be used. Not sure if that's entirely worth it. The Atakan will be picked up by Celestial Light. But I mean, it does take a while to kill. So you've got a bit of a tempo reset you can play for this top lane tier 1.
Yeah, there are 4 people topside, the Ashe is alone on mid. That might be very dangerous soon if she's continuing to stay there.
Dean has found onto Toasty, will walk into the Vault Breaker, however. Ashe Arrow tags onto this Anivia, and now he's not even safe in his own jungle. Popped, but it will not be enough. Good use of the Vision of Noxus from Towie, but an unleashed power will cause Dean's end. 4 members strong in this top side. They've picked up 2 kills for their trouble and a tier 1 tower. Towie might be able to disrupt as Warbase is pushing the bot side. Tom has arrived as well, but there isn't much damage to be had. They've disrupted resets. Warbase now realizing he has to leave. They might be able to kill Squad as forfeit for the sins
Braum
of
is
his
using
team.
his cooldowns despite being certain that he's gonna die.
Just buying time. Call of the Forge comes on bot side, lands onto Warbase, has to flash away from the stun. The slow does quite just land.
And Warbase escapes.
To take him to safety.
At the cost of flash, but at the price of keeping these 1,000 gold with him.
Money. So taking stock, it's about a 4,000 gold lead, so not insurmountable yet. And SIR are finding angles to come back into this game. This is not the cleanest of games we've seen from Light. It's not the worst either.
Although
what do you want to see SIR do to kind of bring themselves back into the driving seat in this game?
First of all, on behalf of Light, these 4,000 gold are solely on Lucian, funnily enough.
Yeah, that tracks.
That very much checks out. Yet I'm not sure what I would expect from SIR to do to come back here. They are... Toasty has been doing a nice Drake steal earlier. Maybe he can pull that off a few times to buy time for the Syndra to scale and for the Ashe to gather some items. It seems like they just need to drag out the game. That is like kind of their game plan here.
Yeah, absolutely. Ashe, not the lane bully she once used to be, ever since her changes a couple of patches ago to make Frost Shot be a lot worse early game, but much better as you scale. She's become a very, very solid hyper carry, but does need 3 items to really become a threat. Same with Syndra, needs to get those stacks up, and those stacks are there. Has to use the Zhonya's already for Dean. Flashes away from the Dark Sphere, which forces this kill. off the cards and forces Patrick Clover's flash, no less. So it's just a trade of cooldowns, and you can no longer get a one-shot onto this Anivia.
Outside of that, this game's pretty uninteractive, let's say. We have the top lane wet noodle fights, of course. They happen all the time. I would not be surprised if this Tahm Kench has most damage dealt at the end of the game.
Honestly. Stun.
But it seems
down
like
onto
we're
tower.
preparing for the next streak right now.
Yep, Dragon is now up. Dean gonna put a wall down, but it's not gonna trap anybody on the other side. We'll see who the first person to step up is. Teleport coming in from Big. As we see Raj moving
Orin
down,
is
doesn't
walking.
want to invest this teleport himself. A good scatter onto Dean. Chunks him out half of his health already. Tom has started up the Dragon. All cooldowns are up and available on every side, bar a couple of flashes. 7,000, 6,000 health on this Dragon and counting as the wall tags onto 3. God comes in, will tag onto Towie and Towie alone, but there's a Demonic Ascension and there's nothing left for them. Raj going to be the first one to fall. Down goes Patrick Clover on the backside. Squad's the next one down. Ragnarok goes as well. And just like that, it's a clean ace and a Dragon for light. And what was 4,000 gold has ballooned to 7.
This time not solely on Lucian, but Lucian very much melted through their entire team there.
Can they just end here? 20-second death
Yeah,
timers. One more
it looks
fight
like that.
could just end this game. 5 members strong, a wave in the mid lane. First tower is... The next towers are the focus. 8 seconds on anybody before they respawn. And as this first tower falls, there is one hope left. Squad is here,
yes.
has no glacial fissure. Warbase dashing forward, has the concussive blows on 1, but it will not matter as Squad falls. And as all 4 members return, a scatter onto 4. They're just focusing the Nexus. Cease and desist onto
Warbase is finishing the game.
Hitting the Nexus. And Light will take game 1 in 25 minutes in dominant fashion.
Well, this was a very nice game so far from Light played. It was very one-sided, I have to admit that. We had a few nice plays so far, for example from Toasty with the epic steal.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like SIR were in that game until the end. It's one of those moments where one fight, because of the setup prior, just loses you the game.
Yes, they just got the early game advantage onto Warbase, they got the money onto Warbase, and they just dominated their early game plan through and through. The way that they wanted their team come to work, I would assume.
Yeah, they were able to kick into gear quite effectively. Now, do you want a couple of minutes, or should we just head straight into game 2?
Let's take a quick break before we head into game 2, just so we can reset ourselves, collect ourselves again.
Okie dokie. In which case, ladies and gentlemen, we will get all set up and ready to bring you game number 2 in just a couple of minutes. Don't go anywhere, because if it's anything like game 1, you're not going to want to miss it. Welcome back, everybody. After a slightly longer delay, we would have liked. A couple of things going on behind the scenes that needed my immediate attention. But we are back, and we are ready for game number 2. And as we head on to the Rift, we've managed to fix the Zoom problem, ladies and gentlemen. It turns out that German keyboards didn't like us very much. They do not take the keybind, but it's coded to take the position of the keys on the keyboard. So on an English keyboard, what is Control-Shift-Z, Control-Shift-Y on a German keyboard. But what matters is it's fixed, and we can head on to the Rift. Well,
Right,
now,
this
in
is-
fact, we haven't got a draft to do.
Yeah, we don't have a graph. We have. I mean, we can go through the comp really quick just by base. We have a top lane matchup of Cassandra against Shen, which means Cassandra is mostly looking to just deny the Shen ulting. We got a Diana Xin Zhao matchup, which I sadly do not have much to say about. Do you have anything to say about that?
I mean, I don't think Diana's a very good champion at the moment. That's
Yeah,
about
that's, that might be a problem, yeah. On mid lane, we have a Yasuo versus Azir matchup, which does not seem very great. Yasuo is an early game lane bully, yes, but Yasuo's win wall is pretty much ineffective against Azir. On bot lane, we have Xayah Rakan against Tristana and Taric, and I will be honest, as much as we love the Lovebirds being together, they're really not a good combo.
Actually a fine match against Tristana, though. Xayah very much likes playing into Tristana matchup
Yes.
because she has to jump forward in the early laning phase. So lane phase should be favored towards SIR, but we shall see. When you are ready, please count us down.
Exactly. This means that I will throw us into the game and hope it shows. Yes, it shows. Thank you. Which means that we will start this game in 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
Okie dokie. On to the Rift as we see, I think that's Towie, maybe Dean, just having a bit of a dance in the base, getting stuck between people and a wall.
As per usual.
As per usual, indeed. I don't think we'll see anything happen in the first couple of minutes of this game. Realistically, I think it will, much like last game, just be full first clear into maybe a fight around Scuttle.
We can see Shen in the top lane preparing for a potential early cheese? Or he wants to prevent it?
Scoreboard is also right, solid.
Scoreboard is right for once, yeah. Unlike last game.
Yeah.
We're slightly invading. They're getting the division on the Raptors. That way they know. Yep, they did not delete the word.
Oh, the score on the top is flipped.
The score on the top is flipped.
Yeah, it is Celestial Light 1, not SIR 1.
That is interesting. That would be my bad then in...
It happens.
Yeah, I need to shove them around then. On stream, let's go.
Yippee!
Because these numbers are synced up in my software itself, which means they should stay the way they are. I set this up yesterday very fast before
Troubleshooting.
troubleshooting. It's fine, it's fine.
It happens. We are all learning as we see yet another wet noodle fight in the lane. I'm so excited to watch this happen once again.
Always the wet noodle fights are our favorites, as always.
Although this time, Beeg definitely getting the better of these early trades. Shen not a fair champion at the moment, for those of you wondering.
Not to mention that Shen's level 1 is really good with his attack speed bonus on the Q with the magical damage.
Yep.
And the
Incredibly
shield
strong.
at the same time. It's a very powerful level 1 spell.
Towie, Warbase, hitting that level 2 mark first, not making too great a use of it, having had to push the wave. A lot of damage from both sides in this top lane, as the health bars are already sub 50%.
Both already vulnerable for ganks. Diana a bit faster on her clear, which is to be expected from a Diana.
Yeah, absolutely, as we see. Raj ticks to level 2, so level 3, so does get that fleet footwork. Or the footwork, rather, not the fleet footwork, as B going incredibly low. Does get the attack speed boost, but one more auto will be the kill. And it's
There's
first
an
blood
invade
across to
going on in the
Raj.
jungle!
There is an invade as Tom finds onto Toasty,
He
smites away
stole
the red
it.
buff. Able to find the 3-time strike, Raises charge. Wind becomes lightning. Down goes Diana. What is one solo kill on the top side is matched by a solo kill in the bottom side jungle. Beeg teleporting in, looking onto Raj. In the
Could
middle of a
get
big
the
minion
next-
wave, but I don't think this
yeah.
is something this Cassante wants to be taking. Does have the Q, but if it's sidestepped away from, Raj is stuck on the wrong side of
But
the
he's
rift.
2 levels down. He needs to kill some minions if he wants something.
Most certainly does, as we see a bit of trading on towards this bot
They're
side.
still
Beak
chasing.
still
He got level
running
3.
Raj down. He did. There's the taunt, and there's the kill.
That's a return kill. Bot lane is not going to be very interesting. Rakan is not going to engage on the Tristana because Tristana can just jump away. Tristana's not going to engage on Xayah Rakan because then she just dies. So there's not much going to happen besides Tristana pushing out. Not just Feather, the Rakan will just jump onto the Tristana immediately.
Very worth mentioning, there is no exhaust in this mid lane matchup as Dean gonna get ganked toward.
But escapes it very, very well. As Diana eats a shot
back
from the turret. Yasuo misses his Q.
Yes, Yasuo Q, the funnest ability in the game to try and sidestep because it's just mind games.
Yep.
Warbase getting a good chunk of charge onto that tower. Able to sidestep on the ground entrance. The squad gets rooted up. Does have to blow the heal there. As now Ragnarok is looking for a potential Blade Caller. Cannot quite find it. Big being traded onto under the tower.
Pushing him on the tower. That's very powerful.
Big, if he dies here, will match up kills. Warbase gonna get knocked up, not gonna get rooted. It's Big going incredibly low once again, still in the top lane, just running away. Good use.
Barely gets away.
The Twilight Assault to escape. As this plate goes down the bot side, Toasty is here, looking to go on towards Big. Does find it quite comfortably, in fact. As the next kill will secure Feat of Warfare before an objective has even fallen. But there is pings coming onto this dragon, knowing this Diana is topside.
Okay, this is very interesting because they knew that Diana is topside. Yet the Diana does not take their jungle. Because she thinks that the Xin Zhao is also topside, which she is dead wrong on.
Yeah, the tracking fallen a little bit to the wayside here, as this dragon is just being slowly soloed by Tom. She's just general trading across the other 2 lanes. The top lane is seemingly where all the action is at. A lot more action than I was anticipating from a tank matchup, but here we are.
The Drake should go down very soon right now, while they are not even checking on it. That's how assured they are. Yeah.
Toasty gonna get invaded by Towie, gonna take the stun.
Taric taking the damage from Taric.
One more auto will do it.
Taking the Diana flash.
As well, Tom, it has arrived. 3 Talon Strike, one more will do it. There's the wind becomes lightning, and Towie finds the last hit. This secures the Feat of Warfare for the side of Celestial Light. In the meantime, there's a bit of fist fighting going on in the top lane once again, but that puts Light in a much better position than they were in last game to secure these feats, because they just need 2 more objectives. Also, Taric damage is not balanced. Nobody can tell me otherwise.
I would also like to notice that Beak has not placed a single ward yet.
Who needs wards? It's top lane.
Yeah, it's top lane. Who needs wards? He just got dove by a Diana 5 minutes ago, but it's gonna be fine,
yeah,
right?
But that's because he was one shot. They only have a look if they can kill you.
Yeah, right. Huge wave crashing on bot lane. Could secure a plate. They don't secure a plate.
Very dangerous, not knowing where Warbase is on his back.
Ragnarok a bit slow on the E, on Xayah to root the Taric, sadly.
Well, it's just lack of matching skins debuff.
True. It's because Rakan does not have that skin. Physically.
I didn't want to play base.
Yeah. Tristana's level 6. This is very, 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 very brave.
It certainly is. No Blade Caller to be spoken of. Does find the route onto Towie, but has to flash away immediately. Warbase does have the rocket jump if he wants to use it. Going to avoid it for now. But that is a lot of damage. Ragnarok able to heal up a little bit. The flash has been blown. The barrier is still available if a dive were to come in. Have to see as Raj going to use the all-out on that top side to try and kill onto Big. Toasty's in the area as well. Grub spawning in about 10 seconds or so. Pings coming down from the side of SIR to play for this. We'll see if Tom moves in immediately. And if so, what the result is.
My question for this game?
Mid lane. Forces Patrick Clover's flash. One more auto should do it. There it is. Solo kill for Dean in the mid lane off the back. good usage of that Emperor's Divide.
Now
Probs,
the
2 of them secured by SIR, so that is the feat. But Tom is feeling himself. He's jumped in 1v2, finds 3 talent strike onto Toasty. There's the Crescent Guard. Stops Raj being able to do anything, and he finds the kill and will pick up the grub as well. So 2 kills and a grub for 2 grubs. I'm calling worth for light.
It's very worth for light there. The question is, do you think that this Yasuo will hit his 0-10 power spike?
Nah. Very rare it happens in comp games. Normally they pick up at least 1 kill in a team fight. Tom now looking for the invade on toward Toasty's jungle. We'll see if there is a collapse. There is. The smite goes across. I believe it went to Toasty. The Diana ultimate just to try and stop this. Tom doing a lot of damage though. Able to just
doing a
bash
lot of
onto Toasty.
damage
One
with
more
this
auto will do it. Flash
tunneler.
will get it. Patrick Clover now here. When becomes lightning. 3 talent strike. In comes the stand united as there's another kill going across. This mid jungle duo now 6 deaths between them in the 4 in the last.
And they're going on the
minutes.
Cassante too.
They
Tristana
Raj,
jumping out.
Gonna get cancelled out of the ult. In comes the Xayah ult. As the pullback, Warbase will fall. But honestly, I'm not sure that's the end of the world given what's happening on the top side.
Yeah. Because what we can see right now is that the lead that Delusion had last game with, like Warbase had with Delusion last game, is now on Tom with the Xin Zhao.
Yeah, and honestly, I think you're more than happy with that. Xin Zhao definitely one of these early brews take over a game with the lead. See, yeah, more trading in the top side. The aftershock Cassante in a Shen lane is an interesting decision, I must say.
Yes, that is a very interesting decision. It looks more like a misclick to me than something he wanted.
Yeah. So you definitely can abuse the grasp, as we see Beeg doing so well here. The Rylai is already completed for Dean in the mid lane, means Patrick Clover really is just dead to rights.
Patrick Clover picking up another death.
Toasty on the bot side, looking onto Towie. Dazzle will land, keep him alive. Exhaust comes down. Warbase is only now just moving.
Tom is coming in.
Towie finds yet another Dazzle. Tom is there. When comes lightning into Audacious Charge, means it's another kill for Tom. He stop him on the top side. Raj misses his W by an inch, which means Beeg just gets to walk out of this, no questions asked. That W is so much of your damage.
And now they're also securing the second Drake, giving them immediate feats at minute 12.
Not quite. They are missing the third on Monster's Lane because they only got 1 of the grubs.
Oh.
Yet more trading in the mid lane. Dean really is just putting the boot in this Yasuo's face. See Beeg trying to step up and play a little bit more aggressively into Raj.
He's here also picked up a Rylai's, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah. Already finished that item. Very solid in this game. Keep people stuck to you as Warbase stuck behind enemy lines, but Tom's walking back in, and Ragnarok going to take the explosive charge, jump in, immediately charmed up. Didn't quite get the reset, I don't think. Does, never mind, did. Gets the charge, jumps away from the feathers, ults away. Ragnarok will fall. Tom is dominating. Dazzle doesn't quite land onto squad. This one will be donated to Warbase. And it's another quick couple of kills. Tom is everywhere. This game Moonfall comes down onto Beeg. Toasty is looking, but that Diana passive is getting her, him, them nowhere. Flash forward from Toasty. Will secure it. Good flash from Beeg to try and escape. Not quite enough. Just railing onto this top side as the first tower falls. And that, ladies and gentlemen, will secure feats for Celestial Light. Patrick Clover going very aggressively here. If Dean has that Shifting Sands, he can go for the kill here. Not going to opt for it just yet. Not feeling it quite as much.
I do want to mention again, though, as we had already seen in the last game, that Celestial Light is very much just outperforming Sir just by playing their champions.
There's the dive, nearly finds it. Dean will find it with the autos as Toasty is here as well. Stange Knight comes in, Blast Cone is used, jumps right into Towie. Dazzle gonna miss by an inch, but it should be a dead Diana. Never mind, Ragnarok and Squad have both arrived. Warbase is walking up. Beeg ends up tanking the tower. A good chunk onto Ragnarok from Warbase over the wall. This tower should be next on the list of things to take as Raj just roamed down as well. Christ, there's a lot of action in this game.
Yeah, it just doesn't stop.
Just gonna shake hands, say, hello, how you doing? And continue on their merry ways.
Yeah, this time they were pretty tame, but throughout the entire game so far, I feel like Tom's been more on lane than in his own jungle.
Yeah,
Even
and
though
he's still sitting on a CS lead.
he's still on a massive CS lead towards the Diana. He's still like half a jungle ahead.
Be very happy with the situation they find themselves in at this point in the game. Now, we just wait and see what is next, as Tom just trying to quickly clear through his jungle. Make sure that he can be back with his team and play these fights as well as possible.
Now, you see, you joked last game about Ornn being a tank assassin, mage...
K'Sante is also, yes.
K'Sante is a much worse case than Ornn by now.
Tagged first Cosmic Radiance to the game as a flash forward from Ragnarok means the Featherstorm is going to go a mile behind her. Will flash forward, finds the Dazzle again, inevitably falls to squad, but it might not be enough. Warbase has to flash away. Toasty and Patrick are here, but it doesn't matter because the rocket jump avoids the moonfall. It's 1-for-1 in the end, with a whole host of mechanical misplays coming in from everybody involved. But inevitably, it is AD carry for support, and you're calling worth on that as light.
Yet on top lane, we can just see the fist fights and what goes on with K'Sante.
Holy Christ, it's a bloody game, ladies and gentlemen. We are in
is.
for a bit of a high kill game. If this was the old Rift, we'd be looking at the bloody Atakan. However, able to survive for now using that wind wall against Warbase. Has to flash to safety, however. Might still just be dead. Jump to avoid the Nado. And an explosion in the face of Warbase. Cool Yordles, don't look at explosions, my friend. Going up to 3-1 and 2 on this Tristana. Tom and Towie in the enemy jungle, potentially looking.
But
Tom
Diana is
in.
able to secure herself at least the red buff, so she doesn't fully
Dean.
fall behind on her camps.
Yeah, Dean could look something as Raj on the back line. Dazzle will land, but it does not matter. Crescent Guard is also dropped, as is the quickness. Knockup comes through, but Ragnarok's damage is not coming through. Tom going incredibly low. Will get shut down, but it goes to squad. Towie is still living. Beeg has arrived thanks to that Stand United. Towie still alive. Beeg just surviving for a mile. Toasty will be falling, and Warbase will go on a rampage. Jumping forwards into the middle of three people, though that's not where he wants to be. Shut down. Goes across to somebody, I'm not sure who. Beeg able to get out with that Twilight Assault, but Raj is there to stop him. And this will be donated across to Patrick Clover if possible. It's 2 kills in this Yasuo's back pocket, one of which was a shutdown.
Both of them were. Yeah.
I don't think the kill on Beeg was a shutdown.
No, the kill on... The kill on... No, not Big, was it? Oh no, the K'Sante
Tom's
has a light
shutdown
shutdown.
went to
Yeah. My bad.
Ocean Dragon will go across to SIR. Second time in 2 games this third dragon has gone across to stop the dragon stacking.
Although,
But 10 minutes from this point in game number 1, the game was over.
This Ocean Dragon is very problematic though for most teams, because if you get stacking on that one, you can just say, oh no, I don't even need lifesteal. This Ocean Dragon's gonna keep me alive.
Yeah, absolutely bonkers what 4 stacked Ocean Dragons can do. We'll see if we get to that point. For now, this Herald is in the sights of Celestial Light. I would wager want to be able to start to break this map open like they did in that last game. So far, only 2 towers down, whereas 3 were gone at this point for them in game number 1. This is match point for Celestial Light. If they win this, they will continue their undefeated streak, much like Vacuity did yesterday. Towie and Warbase moving up on toward Raj here. Rocket jump forward, looks to the W, finds it. Unstoppable. Will stop the Dazzle for now, but there's just too much damage.
He's just
Warbase will pick up that kill. Dean gonna get Moonfalled into last breath, but able to find the Emperor's Divide. Toasty will still pick up this kill, thanks to only being 2 relatively low AP items on this Azir. Nobody got one shot just yet, but the Herald was dropped in the top lane. The tower goes down, and they're looking on toward the tier 2. I'll find the charge. But I think that is all they will find, as Ragnarok and squad are here to stop it. Never mind explosive charge onto the tower. They could look for a dive, but I think they just take the tower and back off.
Yes, they can just take more of the enemy jungle, prevent the Diana from getting more money.
Money.
And the Tristana is just really fed right now. She has so much money. She has like 2 of the most expensive items an ADC can buy almost.
Yeah, I mean, Tom as well, sitting on 2 items. Hasn't quite finished those boots, but I'd wager he's sat on a good chunk of change. Yeah, sitting on about 1,300 gold.
Yeah, that was a lot of money. Although, at the same time, do I have to admit, despite this all looking very one-sided, the gold difference isn't even that big.
Only 2,500 even, not even 3,000 at this point in the game.
It looks much more even than the last game did, interestingly. Despite Tom having 6 kills, Tristana also having 5 kills.
A lot of shutdowns went across in that last fight. Definitely plays. Toasty? Moonfall's on cooldown, guys.
Toasty having a panic reaction, playing Five Nights at Freddy's on Summoner's Rift with an Azir.
Misclick of a century as the Empress Divide comes down. Patrick Clover will be dead to rights. Dean happy to take that one for himself. Atakan has spawned up towards this top side, shocking absolutely nobody with the amount of fist fight in the early stages of the game. See Toasty just clearing down his jungle. No blue buff. Very sad Diana days.
Although the Diana doesn't specifically need the blue buff, the money is still very nice. Same for the XP.
Yeah, absolutely.
She luckily is keeping up with Tom in the CS in jungle.
Always and Tower moving up towards this top side, as is Tom. We could see an all-out brawl around the Atakan. Tom jumping forward onto Toasty, doesn't find the wind becomes lightning, however, and there's a lot of feathers behind. Beeg finds the taunt, tells him to back off. Featherstorm means a lot of damage lands, but the Cosmic Radiance will tag onto 3, and the Crescent Guard does a lot as well. Squad is the first one to fall. Beeg is looking for an escape. Towie finds the Dazzle onto Toasty. There's no knock-up for this Yasuo yet. Tom is in the backline, fighting onto Ragnarok. One more hit is a double kill for Tom, as Raj finds the all-out onto Beeg and is able to flash back over the wall. Towie falls Patrick Clover. Warbase picks up Toasty. Patrick Clover's back over the wall onto Dean. In comes Warbase. Stan Unite is there as well. And 4 members strong. They go flying in. Raj, the last member left standing of SIR, in a 4-for-1 and a guaranteed Atakan for the side of Celestial Light.
What was very interesting in that fight specifically is that due to the setup of Xayah in the beginning of the fight, Warbase had to very quickly back off with the jump. With the rocket jump. So Warbase wasn't even particularly participating much in the fight, which is a huge ton of gold that wasn't present. And they still won that.
Yeah, I mean, Dean and Tom both incredibly strong at this point in the game. Warbase as well, no slouch in that damage department, but they are not lacking damage in any of these fights. In fact, Warbase backing out means it is problematic because it's one less target to focus for Light, which means these carries could be focused on a little bit more, and that is the name of the game for Light at this point, is just putting bodies around their carries. This dragon, now up and available, would be sole point for the side of Celestial Light if they can secure it. And off the back of that last team fight, they definitely look in a strong position to do so. Cosmic Radiance and Stand United, however, both on cooldown, as with Featherstorm and All Out for the side of SIR. Looking, hunting, testing the waters. Raj does have vision. Toasty's looking to come around on a flank, but 5k health and counting. He has to get in quickly if he's looking for a steal here. When comes lightning tag. Toasty goes flying in, but he gets stunned up by the taunt. Twilight Assault doing its work. Warbase will secure the dragon and start firing. Crescent Guard knocks the Rakan back into Warbase. A good Empress Divide means Dean picks up one. Towie picks up another. A third will fall to Warbase. And with Toasty falling at the start of the fight as well, the Xayah can do nothing but look on in a horror as their Collector is unable to find its mark on anybody in that fight. Light take 4 for none, grab themselves sole point, and I'm gonna go cry over this Xayah build for a second.
Yeah, very much. I get the Yuntal is nice. But the Collector second is really not the choice here. I would rather have seen something like a Navori Quick Blades or something like that, rather.
even honestly in this game, even going your armor pen second is perfectly fine.
Yeah, when you're this far behind, Tom has the enhanced feats of strength boots that give him a shield. Shen has the armor boots, and Tarek is
has
just
a
Tarek.
locket. Yeah, has a locket, has a Fimbulwinter. Able
And
to
they
pick onto this tier 2 bot lane tower here as well. One more fight can end this game if the waves are in correct position. We may see that fight here in a second. 5 members strong for the side of SIR in this bottom side. A lot of damage coming down from this Azir as well. Warbase pushing in the mid lane in the meantime. All it takes is one good angle, one good moment, and a fight can start for either team. Warbase able to pick up the tier 2 in the mid lane. Knock up tags, but it only tags onto Towie, and Towie's the only one taking damage. Free, but the Cosmic Radiance triple kill for the Raj for everybody. It's a quadra kill for this Azir, and all Ragnarok can do is run for the hills as Warbase is looking and light. They're hunting. They want this for their mid lane. Warbase jumps forwards, able to find the ultimate back into the team. In comes Dean. He wants it. He needs the blood, and with one more auto, a pentakill for Dean in the mid lane, and the game should be light.
Funnily enough, they engaged that 4v5. They expected to win the 5v4 basically, but they couldn't.
The Cosmic Radiance came down at the perfect moment to deny all the damage. One more Nexus Tower. It's actually not gonna get hit onto here. Patrick Clover flashing forward, looking onto Dean. Stange Knight comes in, but there's too much damage. Good use of the Emperor's Divide, however, as Beeg picks up one. Towie and Tom are here. Dazzle tags onto all three. Wind Becomes Lightning picks up squad. Tom is completely unstoppable. Clover's looking for something. Raj is keeping people out as best he can. He's just dragging the wave for now. Ragnarok has respawned as well. Dazzle lands. The sun goes down. First kill goes down onto Towie. It's a shut down. Raj picks up another.
And Tom just doesn't die.
So much work. He does not care. He does not look to your kills. He looks to his survivability. And as the Nexus opens, flash forward onto Raj, finds that kill. Ragnarok now has to try and do something.
A beautiful dodge.
Caller, but Tom has no way back in. When Becomes Lightning gets charged, knockup comes down, and Ragnarok, you're dead, my friend. And with you, your game should shatter. Tom, he's still in the base. He's got Warbase with him now. Quickness into Moonfall, but the Sundered Sky Healing is just too much.
He's still alive! What are we watching?
Will not die!
What are we watching?
Finally ends. 2-0 for Celestial Light. They're looking for one more kill on the back end. Down goes Patrick Clover. 4 and 12 on the Asuo. Light, they found the bottom of their group, and they took them by the horns and showed them why they're first. 2-0 for Celestial Light.
I do want to... I stick with what I said. What are we watching? It felt like watching a Cassante team fight. But just that was Xin Zhao instead of Cassante. What a game! What a game!
Holy crap.
You see, this was almost as if Tom and Dean, they were like, yo, guys, I know, you guys, we just installed League, I'm actually a pro player, let's see what we can do.
Yeah. Yeah, apparently so.
Tom,
right, if we have any light players around,
that would be nice, but I don't think Tom is around.
Yeah, if we have anybody,
Oh, he said sure, I don't mind.
Tom is around.
Oh, Tom is around.
Tom, go ahead and hop in. We'll do a very, very quick interview and then wrap up.
For whatever you remember of
stream.
yesterday.
Yeah. Thoughts on Dean's favorite champ and build? Crit Silas. Put it in the bin. Thanks.
Also, put Collector Zaya in the bin, please.
Yes, that can also go in the bin.
Especially since she was also building that Infinity Edge last night, like as a third item. She could have just moved it as a second item instead. It would have been better.
Yeah.
Alright, then I'll get us Tom in.
Yo.
Yo, hi Tom.
Hello.
Hello. So, of course, you've had a little bit of time to you've had a little bit of time to process the series from yesterday. But how were the feelings then compared to now, and how are you guys feeling still being undefeated in your group and keeping the Golden Road alive?
I mean the undefeated thing. I'm not gonna lie, we're happy and all, but not too surprised. I do think we're the strongest individually. Overall, I think our lanes are just. We're probably the strongest team on paper at the moment, I'd say. Feeling yesterday, I can't lie. Towards the end, I was just kind of laughing too much because when I'm that far ahead on that disgusting champion, it's kind of just immortal, as you saw. It just has everything you could ask for in a champ. What was the rest of the question? I completely forgot.
Feelings now compared to then.
Now, to be honest, I've already started like talking about next week. I kind of just go on to next week after each series. So as soon as the game ended, like my brain was like, "Yay, we won! Now who versus next?"
Just on the grind, on the road to get them all defeated.
Yeah, exactly. We're going for undefeated split. So gotta focus up, make sure we get ready for the next match.
Following up on the last split.
Well, us on UE we did, yeah.
Following up on the last UE split that also went undefeated. Pause. Tom, crucial part here for both teams.
Swapping roles but not swapping patterns.
Exactly. Swapping roles, but the player still stays the same great player.
Yeah, thank you.
Put that Beth sub in back. She's great.
After that one game I played with Beth and gave me a heart attack, no thank you.
The burn.
So, looking ahead to next week, you guys are up against Frostbite Equinox. Historically, since Equinox's inception, it's had pretty good results coming out of the regular season. How are you guys feeling heading into that matchup? And is there anything you're particularly scared of?
I can't lie. Like, I know Equinox has got this long history. I've not really got all that. Obviously, I know what you've told me, but I don't know too much about it. To me, they're the team that they are this split, and the team they are this split looks very far below average. I think I don't really know their players too well personally, and I don't mean to say this in a rude way, but I think none of them look like they're a team. They look like they're 5 solo queue players that just play together. And I haven't heard much differently. I haven't heard them. I'm not too worried about next week. I think we got this in the bag.
Yeah, fair enough. Kind of any questions that you wanna throw up?
No, I do not have any questions in addition. I think you got that very well covered. From what we can do, since we are not even in a post moment anymore, since we are recasting the game from yesterday.
Yeah.
Kind of awkward now.
Okay. In which case, is there anything you want to say? Anybody want to shout out? Any thanks you want to give, etc.? Floor is yours for the next minute.
Can we get another PR going? Can we protest, get another PR in VL going so that my mid laner can be finally put in first place? Thank you very much. It's disgraceful that he's anything below third. I am taking it personally.
Fair enough. Well, thank you. Thank you for coming and talking to us after the fact, Tom. Pleasure as always. And thank you to everybody who dropped into the stream and tuned in to this rebroadcast. As I say, we may have a stream for you this evening. We're just looking for a play-by-play. So anyone who's interested, please feel free to reach out. please feel free to reach out. We can try and get you involved. Other than that, Skarner, thank you so much for joining me and producing this stream. It's been a pleasure. It was a lot of fun. And with a bit of luck, you will see our lovely friends within Celestial this evening for Celestial Shadow versus, I believe it's Black Lotus Esports.
That sounds about right, yeah. From what I've seen.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That is happening this evening. Whether we stream it or not, time will tell. So keep your eyes out. Keep an eye on all the relevant channels. Thank you guys so much for joining us for this series, and we will see you all a little bit later on.